Hey, hey.
Hello. How's it going, everyone?
How we doing,
uh,
everybody? Yeah. Hello, hello.
we have Alcatraz in the audience saying LFG. So LFG, woo.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
Alcatraz.
so
Is
today
it,
is going to be an art stream where we're going to be going through basically the whole concept through to animation steps, right, Johnny?
yeah, yeah. So, hey, everybody. And yeah, welcome to everyone that's tuning in right now. I'm Johnny, aka Hitbox, one of the founders at LFG. And today we're doing an art stream. Barker has suggested an art stream as one of the 12 days to GMIS. And, we thought it would be a fantastic idea to just run you through the process of, hey, let's concept a thing, let's build that thing, and then let's get that thing into the game and doing a thing. So yeah, I think that's a high level overview of what we'll do. We're just going to kick back, make some art, and just have a lot of fun along the way.
Mhm. And of course, we're going to have some music going with it, so that should increase the
Yeah, yeah,
vibes
yeah,
by
yeah, yeah. Love it,
200%.
love it, love it, love it. No, 1000%.
1000%. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We're
exactly.
only 10x in here.
For sure. Well, should we get the screen share up and
Yeah, yeah.
jump into
We'll,
it?
we'll, we'll we'll dive straight into it, hey?
For sure.
Um,
I'm pretty keen.
yeah, okay. So, yeah, everyone who's watching, we're going to start off with a bit of concepting, and we are going to leverage Leonardo AI. For those who don't know, Leonardo AI is a fantastic AI gen tool, and it's great for ideation and concepting. And we're going to use it to just brainstorm some ideas. So I'll pull it up on my end. Um,
Sweet.
let's do some screen sharing.
Get it all up. Now, Leonardo's been really fun with the day 5 of 12 Days of GMS. We've got lots of people in our Discord sharing all of their good stuff that they've been working on. Lots of
Yep,
pirate themed stuff, which has been really awesome to see. Um, Maybe we should jump on the pirate train or something. Get a
the
little
pirate
pirate
chain.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, um, how much of a overview do we need to do on Leo, or should we just jump straight in?
Um, I mean, Leo has been very kind with giving us the prize pool, so maybe we can give him a bit of a quick run through how Leo works
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before
Okay.
jumping
So as a company, like, yeah, so Leonardo AI, Australian-based company, they've produced Leonardo AI, and it's like I said earlier, it's this super fantastic AI gen tool. And so what you do, you just you prompt in it, and it's gonna generate images for you. So I mean, you know what? I think a really great place to start would be okay, they're my generations. That's all related to LFG.
in.
Um, set the library. It's just looking for the,
Those are some of the ones that I did for the 12 days of
yeah.
GM's assets. They're pretty cool.
I was looking for the gallery. I don't know where that is. Anyway, I reckon we just jump straight into it.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to design slash create a cosmetic item for this Barb character. I have no idea what we're going to build, but Leonardo AI is going to help us get there. So, Jackson, what are you vibing on at the moment? If you were to throw some
Well,
prompts at me, do we want to
okay.
make this festive?
I reckon we make it like a festive pirate sailor theme. Like
Okay.
the hat, your hat and outfit right now is also speaking to me. So
Okay.
maybe it's like a festive pirate
Okay. Okay.
hat.
So generally, when I'm prompting, I like to go wide first. So I'm actually going to switch it over to legacy mode because I like legacy mode.
Hmm.
This is basically the older UI. Um, and let's start prompting. Okay, cool. Um, pirate festive hat. All right.
Pirate festive hat.
Yeah, let's go. A Christmas, if I can spell this. A Viking. All right, let's change that to square ratio.
Hmm.
Um, what do we have here? So with the prompts, you can go,
Oh.
hey. So with the prompting, you can be as brief or as detailed as you want to be.
Mm,
Um, how I like to do it is like I like to keep my prompts fairly simple, and I like to get an idea of how Leo thinks about those concepts that I'm prompting for. Um, okay, cool. Let's see what happens if we just change the model a bit. Let's see what happens if we do that.
it's pretty cool that it went straight to the Santa hat. Santa hat merged with the pirate theme.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So yeah. Hey, what do we have here? This is
Kind of.
interesting.
Yeah, I like the third one, the one with
Yeah,
skull. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. A skull with a Santa hat. Is that what we're
Mm,
gonna do? We got Phoenix. What else we got here? If I turn that on, what do I get? So right now, yeah, I'm just really using the same prompt, and I'm trying out a bunch of the different presets.
mm,
And a lot of what I'm doing right now is I'm just, yeah, I'm spinning the wheel and seeing how yeah, how Leo thinks about things.
mm. I found it very interesting when I was when I was making over 12 days of GMS assets, there was so much variety in the different ones. Like you would have one prompt and then you generate 8 images, and it would be so much variety. Or there would be. It's just interesting how it determines whether or not the images should look similar or different from one another. I've always been a bit curious behind the mechanics there. Look at these
Okay.
ones. I like the horns. It doesn't look super Christmassy, but when it's in Santa out form,
What if we change it? A
pretty cool.
Santa, a Santa pirate hat for a Viking. What do we get here?
You know what? I'm gonna chuck on some tunes. I'm feeling
Yeah,
let's
DJ
put
Barker.
DJ Barker. Hell yeah. Alright, I might
Loving it, loving it. Bringing the energy.
hell yeah. Some creative vibes.
Okay, what do you think of any of these?
Um I like the idea of the one on the left where it's kind of like it's like a classic pirate hat, but then it has
Yep,
the Christmassy Santa detailing on the sides. That's pretty
yep,
cool.
yep. Yeah, there is something here.
Mm,
Okay, right, what should we do here? I wanna... okay, so we got the pirate shape going. We got the
mhm.
Christmas colors going. Um, we need something a little bit more to like tie it into the Norse, like the Viking motifs. Santa pirate
Mm,
hat, um, with Viking horns.
For sure. It's been really cool seeing all the awesome artwork that the people have made in our Discord. There's been some absolute awesome ones. There's like hyper realistic ones. There's anime ones. There's ones that look
Yeah.
like straight out Pirates of the Caribbean. It's really cool.
And I mean, I like there's a world where I'd love to get the community more involved in, say, designing some of the cosmetics, right? Like we could do a competition where, design this outfit for this season, and we'll get the art team on it, and we'll start building those assets.
That'd be really awesome.
Anything here, Jackson?
Nice
horns.
It's strange because like some of it looks good, but then it looks almost more like a jester hat than an actual like Viking Santa hat. Although those are two very differing motifs, isn't it? Pirates, Vikings, and Santa.
A Santa hat with Viking horns.
Yeah, maybe we've been putting too many different motifs in there.
Yeah, and I guess this is part of the process, right? Okay, so that's sort of interesting there.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, what do we have here? Okay. Look at this one on the bottom left. That's very interesting. Okay, so you got your Santa hat, and you got these two horns coming out the side, and there's like one little hook horn at the tip.
It's like a replacement for the bauble that's usually there.
Yeah.
The skull one that has the ear flaps, like the side bit, like the one we did a while ago. That's really cool. I wouldn't mind like some kind of combination of that and then like the horns on the side.
This thing?
Yeah. Maybe like something like that with horns on the side, or.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, let's go use as image input. Let's go. Do we want image to image, or do we want content reference? Let's do content reference. A skull mask with Santa hat. But yeah, I think we're closing in on the design now. And let's just massage it through Leo. So I've used that image as a source image. So it's going to use that source image to guide the result.
That's pretty cool. So that's probably why it's taking a little bit longer than the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. And it's got the side flaps. Yeah, okay. Game concept. Alright. You know what, Jackson? I reckon we're gonna run with this.
Run with it. Hell yeah, let's do it. It's pretty cool seeing how AI can be used to expedite the process of concept.
Yeah. It lets you just ideate super quickly. And we're going to use this as reference, but as we go, we'll make creative decisions along the way to make sure that it fits kind of with the cosmetic item that we're building. All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, can I stylize this a bit? Oh, that's my mother-in-law, by the way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Game concept, character art. Do I want is it image guidance? Okay, do I want style or image to image? Source? I don't know. What happens if I do that? Yeah, we won't spend too much longer. Like, we've only got about an hour today, so we won't spend too much time in this ideation process. Just curious what comes up here. And hey, do you like anything here?
It's pretty cool stuff. I like the red eyes, having the red-eyed dots. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Makes it more sinister though, which might be a bit against our.
I mean, I think we could do that.
Yeah.
I kind of like this guy in the middle.
Yeah. That's a good hat, and then
yeah,
a couple of dots in the.
Yeah. All right. Where if I copy that?
I don't think I've ever seen a skull before with a goatee, a white goatee. First time for everything.
First time for everything, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, trim. So what do we want to do?
So now this is just using Photoshop to.
Yeah, I'm just.
Get the images sorted.
Yeah, so I'm just diving into. That's not the color I want. I'm just diving into Photoshop just to clean up the image.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm really doing here is just removing the other designs so we can focus on our guy.
Pretty cool. I'm learning a lot of Photoshop here at LFG.
Yes, you have.
Doing some graphic design.
And you're slaying it, dude.
Thank you. I mean, good guidance. That's the trick. You have someone who actually knows what they're doing, teaching you.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot to learn, and yeah, man, you're kicking goals. So I'm looking at these designs. There's something. What do I like? You know, I'm gonna grab one of these guys as well because I like them. Maybe this one.
Yeah. I like the use of green, just a little bit of green splashed in.
Yep.
Looks good.
And then let's grab this one. Cool. All right. We got that guy. Cool. All right. So now that we got our concepts, we are going to jump into some 3D modeling, slash sculpting, and we're gonna try to make this Santa hat.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let me.
Sweet.
So this is for everyone that's watching. This is ZBrush. This is a 3D sculpting tool. I'll be doing a lot of the sculpting here. And this base mesh that you see, this is our Barbarian Warrior base mesh. So we'll be sculpting over it, and we're using the base mesh as a guide to make sure that the proportions of the cosmetic item wrap around the head. So I'm going to bring in my references. So
that's a cool feature.
You guys all remember these guys. And then I'm just going to position it around here. And now we start cooking. Okay.
Cooking with gas.
All right, let's start. I don't know where I'm gonna start, but
it's been absorbed by a ball.
we're just gonna wing it here. Okay, so starting off with just super basic shapes. We got the Santa hat, so why not just start with a cone?
Cool. All right. It's really interesting seeing this kind of stuff.
And now we're done. and now we're done. Now we share.
Nailed it.
All done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
let's yeah.
From
Basic shapes. What else do we need? Let's get a. So we want to. I guess we want to build that. I don't know what you call it. The furry stuff around the
mm,
head.
bunting. What's bunting?
No
Some
idea.
reason.
So we want to do something like that. Cool.
No, it's not bunting.
What we got here? All right. So yeah, still working with basic shapes. Just
hmm
trying to get everything looking all right.
Cool.
I need some. What do I need? I need some brushes here. I think I need the inflate brush. Just want to inflate this a bit more.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I'm just using various kind of brushes here to kind of smooth and move the geometry around.
It reminds me a
So
lot of like actual clay.
yeah, and a lot of it is inspired by that, right? Like a lot of
Mm.
the brushes in ZBrush are inspired by like traditional sculpting methods.
That's really interesting. So this process, is it called sculpting? Like actually called sculpting? Or
Yeah. Like yeah, 3D sculpting. Yeah, 3D sculpting. So the difference, I guess, the difference between like 3D modeling and 3D sculpting, 3D modeling, I would say, um, you're moving around the polys and the polygons, the edges, the vertices a lot more directly. Whereas sculpting,
Mm.
I feel like it's a lot more of a creative process where you're moving around the broader shapes with you know with your brushes and you know you're like you're treating it as if you are sculpting, you know, that kind of tangible asset, you know, in real life. Whereas 3D modeling feels a little bit more, I don't know how you would say, like um, it's a little bit more uh, engineered in the way you'd approach it.
Mm.
But anyway, let's continue on. Let's subdivide that. Let's add some more geo. Just pulling that a bit there. Kind of soften that up a bit. Maybe. And then let's get some shape into this guy. So if I pull that down, we want.
Oh wow.
I'm just using the move brush now. So just using the move brush just to manipulate the geo a bit.
That's really cool. It's
I really
interesting. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I'm just really loving that S curve at the moment. Just like this really nice S curve. So, you know, we could really just go in and add a little sphere, and then we got our little
Wow.
thing. Cool. So already, like, you know, we started off with basic shapes, and already I think we've created the overall silhouette of the Santa hat, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's impressive how quickly that was done. Like, I don't know. I expected that process to take a lot longer to get to this stage, at least.
The move brush is a powerful tool if you know how to use it. Like the move, like if I bring up the brush menu, there are a lot of brushes, but I really only use 3 or 4 brushes, right? Like the move,
Right.
the standard brush, a few cutting brushes, and yeah, and there are a few, I guess, task specific brushes. Like there's a gravity brush that lets you carve into the mesh with a gravity modifier on it, which can be fun. But for the most part, yeah, we're just using really basic brushes here, and we're thinking about the shapes along the way. Okay, cool. So let's say again, because we just kind of want to move through this quickly. Let's say this is our, our hat shape. We want to work on that skull thing now. All right. So what is the best way to do that? You know what? I am going to use the base mesh. So I've selected the base mesh. I'm going to duplicate it, right? I'm going to isolate it. And then I'm going to move these guys aside so I can access my entire panel. I want to auto group, grab my cool. I'm going to do some surgery and just remove the body.
Boom.
Cool. Right, body removed. Let's delete hidden. Let's close that gap. All right. And we want to add some. It's quite low poly at the moment, so let's add some. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, let's add a bit of resolution. Cool, cool, cool. So we've got a head shape here. And now I'm gonna just use that head shape to create our skull.
Right, and then you're going to use one of the brushes to like
Yeah, just carve into
away.
it. Yeah,
Right. Wow.
yeah. Let me fix the mouth while I'm here. Just need to close it a bit, I think. And then I'm going to use, what I'm going to use a Dynamesh that will just kind of merge things together. Nope. Need to, yep. Cool. Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
Draz,
cool,
you're
cool.
100% right. It is a good lesson in graphical editing. It's really interesting because you don't really realize how much effort and time it takes for video games to be able to create assets and
Yeah.
skins and cosmetics.
Okay. So now, like, yeah, we're just getting in here. We're just doing a bit of sculpting, right? I've got my brush here.
It's interesting that it can do both sides of it. Like, obviously,
Yeah. Like, because I got
very
the
cool.
symmetry on, right? Like,
Yeah.
typically you'd leave symmetry on as long as possible, so that you can create and design really quickly, and then at a certain point you'd want to break symmetry, and that creates like you start with symmetry on to build really quickly, and then at some point you disable it so that you can create a more asymmetrical look. Depending on, I guess, what you're trying to achieve.
Sure.
So right now I'm just thinking about skull anatomy. I know there's a zygomatic arch here. I know kind of like there'd be a mouth shape here. Oh, we'd want to remove the nose.
Give him the Voldemort treatment.
Yeah, the Voldemort treatment. How's Draz doing? He's in the stream, hey?
Whoa. Yes, he is. He's saying hey.
Hey, Draz. Thanks for joining, dude.
For sure. Absolute legend. I don't think Lofang's here because he's probably very much asleep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably like 3 a.m. sorry, his time. Wow. Draz is working and watching.
Working and watching.
See, that's the perks of having 2 monitors, right? Oh, you could just use it on your phone, actually.
Yeah, still I'm just looking at overall large shapes, right? Just kind of tidying things up a bit. And
the nose already looks great.
it kind of looks like a skull, right? I hope.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
definitely starting to.
just carving into the mesh. All right, just carve into the mesh.
Draz
Jackson, what would
says,
you?
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna say, what is your creative outlet?
My creative outlet,
Yeah,
bro. I am not very creative at all. We're
I'm
talking like,
sure you are. Like,
I don't know. I like the idea of doing woodworking. I really want to get into woodworking, but I'm like, living in an apartment, so
yeah,
definitely not the environment to do that kind of stuff. I'd like to be able to make stuff like physically.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. When I was growing up, I used to do music. Used to be a
yeah,
drummer.
yep. That's creative, dude.
There we go. But yeah, I haven't done it for ages. I would love to get back into music. There's so many things that you want to do, but you just never have the time or the resources to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine being that one person in an apartment building that has a drum kit.
I'm sure they'd love that, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool seeing this creative process live. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've always been very curious about it, right? But you just never get to see that kind of stuff.
Well, here we go, man.
Yeah, no, very appreciative. Draz says that he's got 3 monitors, but he's on the phone at the moment. 3
Okay.
monitors, damn.
Jazz.
One for Discord, one for trading,
He's
one
got
for what
all.
he's doing.
He's got all the screens going.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Need more screens. Make sure to touch grass, Jazz. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm liking the top half-ish, right?
Mhm.
But I'm just like, so I keep looking on my second monitor. So I'm looking at the reference, and I just want to tidy up. I just want to tidy up the jaw, right? That's the mandible, and I think that's going to really give it that really scully look. So what am I going to do? Let me think about this. I reckon it's time for us to. How do we do this? How do we do this? Do we want to carve into it? Actually, let's have a look at how we're looking.
Ooh. Very
Okay.
creepy.
Okay, so that would be the eye sockets. Let's pull that. Let's pull that forward because that's probably gonna rest there. It's gonna rest right in front of the face, and then we want to adjust the. We want to adjust this. Kind of make that. Maybe we make that come down a bit. We're just finessing the shapes into place. Anyways, let's. Cool. Cool. All right, back to this.
I know I should be talking more, but I just feel kind of like mesmerized by what I'm watching. It's great.
That's fine, dude. I think
So good.
we're cooking now.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there.
Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to let's start masking. So I think I just want because this is going to be a mask, right? So I think I just want this.
Right. So is this a tool that actually like pulls out the certain asset, like
Yeah.
section
So
of
this.
the...
Yeah. So I'm just masking, and there's a lot of things that you can do with it, but what I will do is I'm going to use it to select just that part, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you know what? Before I go forward, I'm just going to duplicate that mesh in case I break it.
Right.
delete lower. So yeah, I can always go back to it if I need to.
Yep.
All right, cool. So now we've got,
Right.
you know, I hope you can see that, but yeah, we've got like that kind of
Mm.
just front part of the mask.
Mhm.
Um,
It's very like a Lord of Bones from Game of Thrones, whereas you have a dude
yeah.
that's just wearing the skull. Very cool.
So kids, this is who you'll see if you know, if you've been a naughty boy or girl. You won't get Christmas. You won't get Santa. You'll get this Scully boy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can kind of see what I'm trying to do here, right? Like you can see
Mhm.
like just that front piece of that the head, and we kind of just need the yeah, we need the teeth. What are we gonna
Right.
do here? Let's um, let's we want. Can I decimate this? So I need to reduce the resolution.
All right. So that's what decimating is.
Yeah. So it's just not so dense. And
Mm.
then what I'm gonna do. Okay. Cool. To make some teeth. Alright.
Right.
Back to the. Loving the
Oh
tunes,
wow.
by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good vibe.
Alright.
Wow. You did that so quickly. That's
Alright.
wild.
Cool. Now let's make some more. Alright. I have to say, StreamYard has an excellent choice,
Yeah.
an excellent selection of tunes.
Yeah, for sure. I'll All right, let's try something else. There's another playlist here. Let's feed the ducks a little bit, shall we, Johnny?
Yeah, let's feed the ducks.
Here we go. Boom.
How many people do we have in the stream at the moment?
Right now we have 26 people watching. Pretty
26
cool.
people watching.
Yeah. That's a whole classroom.
Are there any artists on the stream? Out of curiosity.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear. Or anyone that's like working in the games industry right now.
Yeah.
We got Lido who says that they love art, but I don't think they work in it. Still pretty cool. What's everyone's creative outlet? Let's see in the chat. I'd love to know. Used car sales. Eve says, "Teach me."
Always happy
Yep.
to. Always happy
Learn
to.
from the master. Very cool.
So yeah, so from a sphere, we've got like a set of teeth now. All right.
That's wild.
Cool.
I had no idea what you're doing with when the spear came on.
You always start with the primitive shapes.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we looking?
We got Junes in the bar here.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! I think that the
That's
teeth really,
so good.
yeah, the teeth really added something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think we're closing in. What do we
Definitely.
have here? Okay, so we got the mask shape. And then I'm looking at the reference. So it had those little ear flappy things. So let's see if we can make them. So again, same thing. Let's start with the basic shape. Gonna start with my sphere. I love my spheres, don't I? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So is that like the usual one that you go with, or do you
Depends.
tend to...
It really just depends on what shape I'm going for. So, like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, those flappy bits, I need a sort of triangular shape. So, I've started off with a sphere, right? And then what I'm trying to do here is just trim bit of it,
Right.
and then close that, and then look at that. We've got a little,
Wow.
right?
That's so quick.
Right?
That's wild.
Okay, so we've got the brush shape there, so let me just Dynamesh it. It cleans up the geometry a bit. Alright,
Right.
cool. And now what do we got here? So it's kind of just covers the ears, right? Like they're like little earmuffs. So let's do that. Let's do a little bit of that. Let's disable that.
Wow.
I have to say it's all the tunes.
Yeah.
The tunes are really guiding this.
Yeah. That's why they're here. Very cool.
And then if I grab the move brush again, let's pull that down a bit. Cool, and they kind of just, maybe we can make it flick out a bit. So again, let's just grab.
Nice.
Push it in a bit. So yeah, I'm just pushing and pulling.
Which I suppose is just like real clay and real sculpting, right? Like,
Yep, pretty much.
That's pretty wild. Have you ever done like proper sculpting before?
I have, yeah. It's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few colleagues who just fly at it, but you know, when you're sculpting with traditional materials, it's actually really hard. Clay is really hard.
Right.
It can be really hard, and you know it's unforgiving, right? If you make a mistake, there's no Control Z. So I have done traditional sculpting. I haven't done a lot of it, and I'm not fantastic at it.
Yeah. No, it'd be pretty cool. You have to have a lot of respect for like the people in ancient times that did the marble sculpting. You know,
Absolutely.
That's nuts. That's
yeah.
wild.
I did a trip to Florence not too long ago, and
Cool.
yeah, it was just so impressive to see all of the really the traditional art. And this is a time where there was no Control Z, there was no internet for reference as well.
Yeah, that does make it even more impressive. Like it all comes out of their mind. Wild stuff. I remember I went to the Sydney Art Gallery recently, and they had a really cool exhibit that had just like these massive marble pieces of art, and like I found those to be the most impressive ones. Like obviously it's the paintings and stuff are beautiful, and you gotta have a lot of respect for that, but the time and effort that must have gone into these marble sculptures, nuts.
It's a huge labor of love.
Especially when you think about the time period when they were doing it, it was like 1600s, like they wouldn't have even had plumbing or anything.
Yeah.
Wild. I couldn't do that, and I have plumbing and fast food.
Exactly. Yeah. How did they do it? Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Cool. And we're going to mirror it to the other side. Yeah, okay. Bring this one out a bit.
So is that the gravity tool that kind of like drooped it?
No, this is still just the move tool.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
this is still the move tool. It's all just a lot of it is just the move tool and a little bit of sculpting, a little bit of cutting. And I'm always rotating the camera around, right? Like always looking at things from different angles because we're working in 3D. So
Yeah.
come on, put some resolution there.
It's interesting that you just, press a button and more resolution. I
Yeah,
never really thought about it happening that way. I always thought that, there'd have to be more details being put in and stuff like that. But it's just press a button. That's wild.
it just subdivides the mesh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay. What do I look in that? Okay, let's hide everything else. So that's kind of our hat, hey?
Really cool.
Now, all right, let's just move things along a little bit, and let's get this. Let's say this sculpting part is done, and we wanna make this a game asset. So, cool. We're really happy with how things look, ish. Right? We can always just spend a lot more time on it. But we want to start converting this into a game asset. And so, you saw me before, press a button to add resolution. Now we kind of just want to take that. We want to strip that resolution back.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our friend, the decimate button. And that will just kind of
Decimate.
that will just pull things back a bit.
It's a very dramatic name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna decimate you.
Okay, cool. Let's start with that guy. And then we go decimate pre-process, and then let's decimate. Cool, maybe a little bit more. No, other way. All right. Oh, even more than that. Let's go 1. A little bit. No, maybe that's okay. Okay, I don't mind that.
Yeah, that does look a lot like actual Santa. I don't know. I did Google it before. Brim, the white brim. That's a very boring name for it. That's not a specific name.
The brim?
It's the brim, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean
It feels like it should have another name.
that makes sense.
And then there's a
Okay,
white pom-pom or
still-
tassel at the top.
Cool. Bringing that down. So I'm just reducing the resolution of the mesh. And what's going to happen is, you're going to lose a lot of that curvature because you're reducing the resolution. But with with the style of game that we're going for with GM, it's very kind of like low poly, so it kind of fits into the style.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Well, you know what? We're kind of at a stage where I reckon I could ask you some of these questions I prepared.
Yeah, go for it.
So, how did you begin designing GM? Like, what was the thoughts going through your head when you were creating the GM art style?
Okay, so the GM art style, that's a great question. Like, I would say the art style for GM has been a evolutionary process. We started off with everything. Actually, like, if we're going back a bit further, right? Like, because we initially started off with the GTFO, and we were building Grand Tactics Final Order. Initially, that had a more serious tone, and as we started building out the art assets and the trailer, and as we started getting more input from our advisors, the style kind of like changes and ebbs and flows, right? And it's kind of landed with what we have at the moment with GM. And all of that is to say that, like, the style has been guided by the technology, which is we're using Unity, so we want to make sure that our art assets are performant. Hence why we've got like more low poly assets. We're
Mm,
not making AAA games here.
mm,
We're making games that will run on Telegram apps, so
mm-hmm.
we can make it as pretty as we want, but ultimately, you know, we have to make things that are performant, right? Because
Yeah.
we can make a really pretty game, but if it doesn't run, no one's going to play it, no one's going to enjoy
Mm,
it. So that's a big consideration. And then also, like, we're thinking about brand, we're thinking about IP, we're thinking about what are the things that will capture an audience. And immediately I think about color. I think color, like lots of bright color, naturally just takes the viewers the focus, right? Like, so
mm,
like it's easier to draw your eyes on colorful subjects. So hence why we're going for like low poly, like super colorful. I want these characters to be fun and funny, but like violent at the same time. I think it would be a nice mix of kind of like um, I don't want to say cute, but like stylized characters that
mm.
just have a lot of like violent nature, and I think that could be a fun realm to explore.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it's an evolutionary process, right?
Mm,
Uh, Kind of like, I don't know if the analogy is like setting up a tent. You put a few pegs in the ground, and then you extend the tent, and as you
mm,
as you as you put the pegs in, the shape of the tent reveals itself, and you kind of like
mm,
um, yeah, you kind of just plant the pegs in along the way to kind of create your tent, and that's kind of what we're doing, right? Where um, we're working with a blank canvas, and then we're just throwing paint at it. And as we start to paint, the style, we take things away, we add it, and we end up with something that we like, and
mm,
hopefully we end up with something that the community loves.
mm,
So yeah, super evolutionary.
for sure. No, it's very interesting because yeah, I remember seeing the first concept art pieces, etc., and it was in a different direction. Well, no,
Yeah,
it was very similar, but stylized in a different way.
yeah,
So yeah, it's cool to see it where it is now, and I think that the GM, especially because it's going to be like 100%, it's going to be the best Telegram game out there. Um,
100%.
it's it's really cool to see.
Cool. So just decimating the face a bit. Can I decimate it more is a question.
Mm,
Okay, I don't mind that. That works. And then if I just mirror it, now it's mirrored. Okay, you can just always pull these back.
mm-hmm.
Cool. Now we've got our mask.
Sick.
Cool. And then we just work on these guys.
Mm-hmm. So when you decimate them, do you try to make sure they are decimated at the same level across the entire asset,
Yeah,
or do
yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really just eyeballing this, right? Like I'm looking for a density of polygons that kind of mimics what you're seeing on screen here, and a lot
Mm,
of this is to taste, and a lot of this is because we've been working on the project, so we know what kind of density we need. So a lot of this is like I have a rough idea of the kind of density I need, and I'm just dialing it in to taste.
mm, cool.
Okay, let's pre-process and decimate. Might need to separate. So hidden.
Those looked very scary to me because it felt almost like you were deleting the rest of it. Someone who
I'm
doesn't know.
yeah, I'm just splitting them up so I can work on them
Mm.
individually. Okay, that's not really giving me what I want. Why is that? What if I smooth this out a bit? And if I do that again? Oh, is that too much? That's too much. All right, let's leave it at that. Okay.
Mm.
What other questions do you have for me, Jackson?
Yeah, got a couple more lined up. So what is your favorite part of the creative process when making these assets and making the game?
I love it all. I love it all, right? Like I love the ideation. I love the creating the asset. I love working with other creatives as well. Like, it's
Mm.
great to work with other creatives. We have an amazing team at LFG. And it's so good to bounce ideas off them. We have a super talented concept artist that does a lot
Mm.
of the initial concepts for all of our factions and cosmetics. She drives a lot of the designs for the characters and the cosmetics, and I love being able to just come in and curate all the amazing work that comes through her.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have an amazing modeler who creates a lot
Yeah.
of these characters and these cosmetics. And a lot of the a lot of the stuff that we're doing, right? We are we're working at the intersection of like kind of science and art, right? Like, there's
Mm.
the creative aspect of it, and then, there's there's a lot of technical aspects about what we're
Yeah.
doing to, make the game work. And that's where our modeler shines. He does a great
Mm.
job at working at the intersection of science and art.
Mm.
Um, and and we do all of that work so that we can have this beautiful game that is performant, so that we can have these like cool NFT characters running around in game, which will be your playable heroes. Yeah, I love the whole process. There's so much of it that keeps it fun and challenging and creative at the same time.
For sure. No, it seems like such an interesting process, and there's so many awesome people that we've got in the team, and they're so nice. We haven't hired a dick
100%.
yet.
100%. Well, I could try to be that dick.
Yeah. I reckon we just need to hire someone who's a bit of a chaos creator, right?
Yeah. Chaos Creator.
Uh,
That's the
yeah.
name of this of this asset, I
Asset.
think.
Hell
Chaos
yeah, the
Creator.
chaos creator. I love it. All right, I'm gonna write that down because I have the memory of a shiv. Um, chaos creator.
Yeah.
Used car sales says perfect. I think we've got the tick of approval on the name.
Nice. Chaos Creator.
Hell yeah.
Gamer and World. Okay, cool. That's mostly done. Okay, now let's decimate the teeth super quickly.
Decimate.
What teeth looking like? Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Cool. I think
Wow.
this is. I think this is it. Jackson, we did it.
Well,
We
you
did
did
it.
it. You did it.
We
I'm
did it
here for a
together.
ride.
Um,
Yeah, I'll take credit. That's cool.
so where we're at, right? We leveraged a little bit of Leo to help us ideate, this 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 head cosmetic, and we're going to, the next step would be getting this in engine. I'm mindful that, it's already been an hour. Do we keep going, um, or do we make a part two out of this?
Let's see. What do the people want? I
What are the
am
people?
free for a little bit. I should be able to squeeze it in. How long does it usually take for the actual putting it into Unity?
Um, it shouldn't take more than half an hour, right?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go for
let's
gold.
let's do it. Okay. So what do I want to do here? Let's just merge for now. It's merging all these objects together.
Used car sales asked, what stage do you add the color?
We will do that in Unity, which is the next stage.
Right.
So we'll dry the color with materials inside of Unity.
Oh, so you can actually like put materials next to it, so like felt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll assign materials to the different meshes. But yeah.
Wow.
Cool,
That's pretty cool.
All right, we got that guy. All right, let me export him out into.
Sweet. This is where we get to the risky part, where we don't want to accidentally leak anything.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw the asset into Unity, and we're not gonna screen share the Unity project because we don't want to reveal any kind of sensitive dev stuff. But what we can do is I can rip out the screen module and just show you like the screen, the display, without showing the in editor stuff.
Very chill music.
This is feeding the ducks?
No, this is night driving.
Night driving.
Just imagine you're driving down a highway late
This
at
is
night.
too chill for night driving.
Yeah.
This would
No, you
put me to sleep.
Right. No, I appreciate the chill vibes while doing a night drive.
100%.
What kind of music do you listen to when it's a late night drive?
A late night drive. I feel like this would put me to sleep.
So
Well, it depends.
talking...
Yeah. Not maybe not super late. Guys, don't drive while you're tired.
No.
But I could definitely appreciate, some really chill lo-fi vibes like this.
I think for me, when I'm driving late at night, you've got to have quiet music. It's something chill. You can't have anything too energetic.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a bit too violent for your ears, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're winding down for the day. You're driving home from your mum's house when having dinner. I don't know, and you can't have some Skrillex or Metallica going.
Yeah. You need to work into that.
That's morning music.
That's your alarm clock.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wakes you up like Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Okay, so where am I?
Alright. Well, let's see what this song is. Into Space. This... Oh! Cool. Alright. Question number 3. What is the process for collaboration with your team at LFG? Like you've talked about a bit about like concepting, and when we have a modeler, like what's the
creative process? How do I creatively collaborate? So
yeah,
I think everything starts Oh man, these tunes are great. Everything starts with a brief, right? Like, and maybe things start with design, right? Designer like, we want we want this to happen in the game, or we want this certain environment, or we want this ability, right? And and I think after design, it kind of breaks away into, two different departments. Like dev will go in and build that, right? We'll code the ability or code the thing that we need. And and if it's an art thing, the brief will come to our department, and then it's a lot of kind of us working together and saying, hey, let's say it's a faction, right? It means that we need those designs from our concept artist. So the concept artist will go out and start designing those things. She'll bring the concepts back. We'll look at those concepts through like a production lens. Like if we have to build that concept, how's that going to work with our characters? How is that going to work on our rigs? How's that going to work with the system that we've built? And there might be a little bit of back and forth saying, hey, cool, we might need to simplify this design a bit so that it can actually work on the characters. And once the concept is approved, we'll go into production. We have our fantastic our modeler that will build the asset and ingest it in game, and then there's a process of, okay, cool, we've got the asset, it's in game. Let's get it in design's hands so that they can play with it and they can assess, does this kind of serve the design requirements. So it's an iteration and it's a loop, right? Starting with the design, going into art, and there's a lot of iteration within art. It gets into the game, and then ideally it goes back to design to review. So that's kind of like that creative collaboration process involving dev and design and art, as much of the team as possible. Even you are part of the Bunnings costume design, right? It's like, hey, we have this really, really great idea. We've got these requirements. How do we do an end of year item? Okay, cool. Let's get concept onto it. Let's get concept brainstorming some ideas. Production art will look at it and go, okay, cool. This is how we would interpret that design to make it work on the character, and then let's make it. And then we have this fantastic costume. I don't know if we're going to call it the Bunnings costume. We probably can't because of IP constraints. But yeah, we'll develop a cool name for it.
I wonder if they can call like IP just for uniforms. Like, I don't know. That seems a bit strange to me. But yeah, probably the Bunnings we couldn't say.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay. Now I'm trying to find. Okay, so I'm having some technical difficulties on my end. Something's not working as intended.
Something's misbehaving.
Yeah.
Technology is so useful, but it's such a pain.
Yeah, why? What is happening here? Something's happening here. So my ZBrush is doing a thing where it's not behaving, and I need to find out why.
What is ZBrush? Oh, ZBrush is the software.
Yeah, ZBrush is the tool that I use to. I don't know what's going on.
Hopefully it doesn't delete the whole thing.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't. Because I did not save at all. usually I save along the way, but we were flying at the speed of light, so
in the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, we did not save at all. So that could be a disaster. What is going on? What is happening here? Sorry guys. For everyone that's paying attention at home or watching at home, my ZBrush is it appears that it has frozen.
Misbehaving. My usual advice of turning it off and on again doesn't really work here either.
No. It would just
Mm,
it would kick me out of the stream as well. Okay, so
yeah.
I've just closed ZBrush and I'm firing it back up again.
hmm
Cool. Okay, so oof, that's no good. So it this is how you know we're live, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you know we're live. Okay, so it saved, but it didn't save at the most recent event. So, oh man, what's going on here?
This might be a sign that we should split this up into 2 streams.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
potentially.
if it takes half an hour to get into the Unity stuff, then
Yeah.
yeah, let's
I think
do a second one.
let's close it here. So I can just do a quick screen share and just show you.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is where it saved last, right? So we were decimating the hat, and we decimated everything, right? And it was all ready to go and throw into Unity, but something's happened and my ZBrush has crashed, so I'll have to decimate this again. Anyway, this has been an hour and 12 minutes.
Been a good stream.
It's been a good stream. I kind of thought, yeah, I didn't know how this would go as a first art stream at LFG, but I think this has been fun. I think what we can do here is I'll continue working on this asset, and maybe there's a part 2 of getting the 3D model into Unity and dressing up the Barb Warrior and having him run around in Engine. So it's just cool to see that whole process from ideation to creation to ingesting into the game and having that asset on screen, doing a thing.
Yeah, sure. No, much appreciation, Johnny, for coming on and showing us all of this. It's been really cool. Yeah, we'll have to figure some time in the new year to jump back
do a part
in.
2.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, thank you for helping us make the Chaos Creator, everybody who's watched.
Yeah.
We appreciate your company.
Yep.
And
yeah, and to everyone that's watching, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the new year. Until then, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you
See
later.
everyone.